Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PlanetSide 2. PlanetSide 2, quite simply, is a free-to-play MMO FPS and MMO first-person shooter, a sequel directly in regards to PlanetSide 1 from the early 2000s. A very unique genre, and what this video plans to do is go over some of the basics, how the game works, show you some combat, and just call it a wrap. Kind of give you my impressions of the game, so to speak. So, as I said, what is PlanetSide 2? Well, it is a massively online first-person shooter. And that is different from, say, World of Warcraft how, or maybe different from Battlefield how, you ask. Well, in Battlefield, more particularly, there's big maps, 64 players versus 64 players. Well, this game makes those look like a joke. This game is all about hundreds of people fighting hundreds of people for certain areas on 3 distinct continents vying for resources in a war that never ends between 3 separate factions. There can be no more than about, I think the limit is 265 players per faction on each continent, or something along those lines, allowing for huge battles to be happening in huge different hotspots. There is a class system, so to speak. I am currently in my Infiltrator class, which is the sniper, and I will show you exactly how this works. Over here, you're going to take a look at this terminal. These different terminals, by the way, all have different icons. We have ones with the guns, which allow you to switch your class, one with the tanks on them, which are ground vehicles, ones with, it looks like airplanes on them right over there. Those are airplanes, or air vehicles, aerospace. In order to purchase ground vehicles and purchase air vehicles, you need particular different resources, of which we'll go over in a little bit. First, we'll take a look at the class. So, you go to one of these terminals, you hit E. It's got to bring up the list of all the classes that you have. Infiltrator, Light Assault, Combat Medic, Engineer, Heavy, and Max. Max is a special unit, we'll go over that last. Infiltrator is exactly as I said earlier. It is a sniper. You get a sniper rifle, a pistol, a recon detecting device, which allows you to track particular different things, and a knife. Everybody gets a knife. Light Assault. They are basically jump pack people. They are light defense. They don't have a lot of shielding or defense, but they have high mobility. They're fast. They can fly around. They have a short range like rifle and a pistol with a grenade, it looks like. Combat Medic. Well, we have what it sounds like. They have a small defense by way of this rifle, but they also have a healing ability. They can heal people, and a shitty pistol as well. Engineer, they are basically the healers of vehicles. You know, that your vehicle's hurt, it's taking some damage. Well, the engineer can fix that for you. They can repair that. They can also repair structures in bases. If your generator goes down, which brings down the shields, allowing the enemy troops to flood into your base, the engineer is going to be what you need to fix that generator, to fix that shield. Heavy Assault is exactly as it sounds. You want to run in and get some damage done, get to the front of the line, be the man at the front? Well, that is your Heavy Assault. That is what you want. They have basically a huge machine gun with a ton of ammo. They have a pistol, and they have a rocket launcher. Max is what's special, because first of all, you need to spend 100 ground resources, infantry resources, of which you get by taking over areas. They have a lot of extra health. They have the one left hand is going to be their machine gun, while their right hand is basically a grenade launcher. They're very slow, but they have a rushing ability. That's their special ability. And as I said, they have extra health. They don't get healed by medics. They get healed by engineers, which is also very important to note. Since they cost resources, you want to be very, very careful with them. And as you play the game and get kills and experience, you level up. Well, what does leveling up do then if this game is all about first-person shooting? Well, I'm glad you asked. Leveling up is a very special thing in this game because it'll unlock different loadouts. So for now, I have one loadout available to me of which I can customize. At level 5, I'll unlock another one. At level 10, I believe, I unlock my third. Then, as you level, you gain certification points. You gain certification points for taking over bases, for experience, for kills. All these things will eventually give you certification points. And those are very, very important because certification points allow you to unlock special things, such as more weapons. As you can see here, if I want this rifle right here, it's going to cost me 100 certification points or 250 station cash. What is station cash? Well, it's basically the microtransaction in this game. You spend real money to get station cash, then you use that station cash to buy weapons or unlocks for other weapons. So for my main rifle, which I use, this one right here, which I can use certification points to unlock a suppressor, which will essentially stop the muzzle flash and hide me from showing up on the minimap when I fire a gun. I then have the ability to buy different zooms for this gun, different rails. One will give me a flashlight, one will give me the ability to basically less kickback. And then, as you can see, these all cost only certification points. That's all you need. And these are actually relatively inexpensive, 30, 100, not too bad. what you need to be careful of is your utility slots and whatnot, passive systems, etc. So this right here is an advanced equipment terminal hacking. Increases my ability to hack, my hacking speed. So if I want to go into, for instance, a base, and I need to quickly change my loadout, but the base is taken over by the new conglomerate, and the terminal that is used to switch out my loadout is currently under their supply. Well, I can run over to it, and I can hold down E and start hacking it and taking it over. This will allow me to basically make that quicker. So the first one's 1 certification point, really cheap, right? Second one is 30. Third one's 50. Fourth one's 100, followed by 500 certification points. This is the way to limit you from not being a monster of a player, that you just are just good at everything. So, for instance, grenade slots, you know, I can hide higher EMP grenades. This is a bad example, hang on. So here, right here, we have, do you want recon device? Well, you better be ready to invest up to 2,000-ish certification points to get the highest ranked scan rate, which just allows it to scan constantly. Ability slot. Okay, well, you have two choices here. You can have nano armor cloaking, which is while I'm cloak, I take less damage, but it drains it faster, meaning it'll come. I'll be uncloaked much quicker. Or I could do the hunter cloaking device, which will allow me to be cloaked longer and more effectively. And this is all cooldown for me doing that. The cooldown is way quick for it. But you kind of have to choose. You're not going to really have the ability unless you play an insane amount of this game, an insane amount. You'll never have both of these. And if you do have both of these, you'll have lackluster, add-ons for your weapons and whatnot. You really need to make a decision. You need to decide what kind of infiltrator, for example, you want to be before you commit to it. And then you need to commit to it. If you start putting your certification points everywhere willy-nilly, you're going to be really good at nothing. And you'll have basic equipment from the ground up. Now this all carries over into vehicles as well. You could spec into vehicles from the vehicle terminal, allowing you to get like special perks and loadouts for vehicles with different weapons, and all this just kind of carries over to that. Let's take a look real quick. If we pop open this over here and we go to the Sunder, for example, we can go to the certification for the Sunder. Do you want to be good at driving a Sunder? Do you really want to be a Sunder driver, essentially? Is that going to be what you want to do? Well, luckily for you, there's all kinds of wonderful acquisitions you can have here. You can pull this vehicle. It's basically every time you buy a vehicle, there's a cooldown before you can buy it again. This lowers that cooldown to a point, I think, where it's pretty much instant. Creates
I don't know if you can hear me.
somebody talking. There is voice communication, by the way, in this game. I'm not going to respond to him. He's not talking to me. He's just talking in the general area. So you can do smoke screen, proximity radar, but the one thing you want to do if you're going to play as a Sunder driver is grab this SAMS, in which it basically turns the Sunder into a mobile spawn point, and that's what makes Sunder drivers excellent. That's why you want Sunderers on the battlefield at any given time. So, like you see, there's all kinds of ways you can spend your certification points, allowing you to be the kind of trooper you want to be. Do you want to be an aero pilot, which will allow you to, maybe you want to drive a one-man, you want a dogfight, or you want to, just be that one-man kind of dogfight player where it'll have that small little ship, of which I think they call it on the Vanu side the Scythe. Yep, you can drive the Scythe, which is really cool looking. You could change out the loadouts when you have the ability to do so, or you could drive a Liberator, which is basically, you could just drop off units, pick up units and drop them off. You're just a transport vehicle. So all these things are awesome. Now, one of the things that you want to do in this game is absolutely play with players. And you can do that quite easily. You hit the P button, you got to bring up your social. And you can see squads right away. The game is like, here's a bunch of squads, join one, go play. And you could easily just click on one and hit join now, and you'll be immediately in a squad of people of which you could join up and play with. Very, very cool. I like that they do that. And that's just a squad. That's a small thing you can disband. It's like grouping up for a dungeon in WoW. Then there's outfits, which are guilds. Now, you can't really see much because I have my outfit, of which I will be telling you about at the end, what server. Obviously, we're playing on Vanu. And this is a guild, of which you can then split up your guild into different squads, and you can assault different areas. Very awesome. You have your friends list here, you have your voice and chat, your notifications, and your video options. Very cool is you can actually record and upload directly to YouTube. I'm not using that. I actually prefer to use my thing. And you can immediately stream from PlanetSide too. So if you're a streamer, very stream friendly. The one time I tried to use it, it crashed, but that just might be me. I haven't tried to use it since. So playing with people is almost definitely the way to go. But PlanetSide 2 still has your back if you want to play solo, especially if you only have like an hour or so to play. So what do? You jump in, you jump on, you're like, oh, you know what? I want to play as a heavy assault trooper because they're fun, and I just want to go fight some things for a little while before I have to go to work or before I have to go hang out with my fiance because she's a gross girl and I just have to do it, otherwise she'll go away and won't make me cookies anymore. So what do? What do you want to do? Well, you hit the M button, which brings up the map. You can zoom out here real quick, and immediately you can see Isamir, which is the first continent we're on, is basically owned by the Vanu. The Vanu are just destroying the area. The only things we cannot take over are the warp gates, which are 100% safe. You can't take them over. And the ability to have a warp gate basically allows you to have any of the alliances to have a staging point on any of the continents to fight back and eventually take over. So we're doing quite well here. Each area gives you benefits and whatnot, so I want to show you real quick before we fight, show you how to get to the battle. So we have this tech plant. What is that going to be able to do? Well, here we can get main battle tank acquisitions, and since it's connected to a bunch of cool stuff, it also has the connection benefits, as you can see on the left-hand side, turret heat reduction, extra health regeneration, and main battle tank acquisition. All these things we get because they're connected. And I'll explain that in a minute. This one right here, let's go to the biolab. If we take over this biolab right here, we'll get extra health regeneration from it. Now, the question is, okay, well, what if we took this over and it wasn't connected to the purple? Well, the only thing we're going to get is the extra health regeneration while we're there, and that is it. We will not get any of the extra resources and health benefits unless it is connected to the rest of our territory, meaning it makes sense to push as a group on your boundaries and take over areas like that. The more you have, the better it is, obviously. And if you take a look over here, there are 3 continents, like I said. It looks like Amrish is being dominated right now by the new conglomerate. We are literally being pushed to our very core over here, while the conglomerate just fights its battles and takes over here. And over here, it looks like Indar, on the other hand, is owned by the Terran Republic, which is completely isolated one of the new conglomerates over here. We're pushed back to our warp gate, and the new conglomerate is barely fighting to hold on. If the Terran Republic ends up losing this, I'm sure they'll be able to take it over. But let's get to where we want to do. How do you just, as a solo player, or even as a group, get into battle? Well, as you can see, it shows you where there's a lot of hotspots going on. You can take a look at percentages. It's 41% of the Vanu over here, followed by 25 TR, and 33 new conglomerate. What I like about going here, since it's on the edge, is that since we're coming in as the bulk force, there's going to be more Vanu than anything else. The 33% of the new conglomerate and 25% of the Terran Republic are also going to be attacking each other. So either way, we kind of have an advantage here. While over here, it looks like we are basically outnumbered by the new conglomerate, and they're actually pushing back over here. So that means for us, what we're going to want to do is jump over here. We're going to go over here where we have the best chance of survival. We're going to defend and start pushing towards the biolab. So you hit deploy. Something you can do once every, I think, 10 minutes. And it's going to count down to 10 seconds, and then it's going to load up where we are, and you'll get to see the cool way we get dropped into battle when you decide to do this quick deploy. It's basically a nice way. It's a nice way to get you right into battle, and I like it a lot. So let's see. And here we go. We're getting dropped right into the battle. You're going to get dropped from a drop pod. This drop pod is a physical representation in the world, and we can land. If we land on an enemy, they would die from that. We would kill them. So we landed in. It looks like I dropped in a little late. As you can see, it looks like we now own this area. Let's just do a quick run around the base. Make sure it is 100% clear. And it looks like there's something over there. I saw someone mark an enemy on the map, so we're going to run our way over there real quick. Yeah, we own the materials lab now. And whatever was over here is gone, it looks like. If there is anybody over here, it doesn't matter. Now, while we're running around, just so you know, every class has a special ability. The ability for an infiltrator, for example, is to go stealth. The ability for heavy trooper is to have a force field. So I have a personal force field. It slows down movement, but you know, allows for survivability, especially for someone who wants to kind of run in. So the question is now, where do we go? What do we do? This place is already taken over. Well, I'm going to come over here to this vehicle section. I'm going to grab us a flash by spending 23 mechanized resources. Grabbing a flash, and we're going to load up here into the flash. If I hit T, we go third person. And look at that, there's already some enemies over there. We could come over, but we're probably going to end up coming over here and fighting. Actually, we're just going to probably ignore them. Ignore them for sure. They have a Sunderer over here, which is why... Oh, I thought I was going to hit them, but apparently not. I gotta keep going. I want to keep going. Our flash is pretty fragile. We'll turn around in a minute. We're getting sniped at. Whoa! We definitely want to keep moving. Oh, we died. Alright, so they're coming back for a push, which is actually going to allow us to do some fighting, which actually is kind of cool. Manlicious did 7% of our damage there. I'm actually going to put us in the... it looks like we ended up losing it, which is unfortunate. Then barracks is there, so we'll go to the barracks and do some fighting here. Try to take over what we can. I am going to switch up to my infiltrator class and try to pick some people off from a distance. My infiltrator is kind of my primary class at all times. This is what I like to play. This is what I play the most. But we're going to stealth up just to get some scout and recon in. I want to see if there's anybody on the horizon here. It doesn't look like it for now. They are pushing. We know that much. That's an ally. I wouldn't be able to tell you the amount of times I have like snuck up on an enemy like unwittingly and accidentally gotten killed or gotten a kill. There is some fighting coming on. I just want to see where they're coming from.
Generator repaired.
Nothing really.
SCU compromised.
They are trying to push, so we might want to move a little bit. I heard some gunfire. But where? I'm going to uncloak for a minute. You can see the bottom right is where the cloaking regen is. It can show you the cooldown, how quickly it goes down. You probably have seen that. This guy's got a good idea. As pretty much as anybody, but primarily as a infiltrator, you always want to have some sort of high ground. Distant high ground for infiltrator is probably best. Just be able to get a good lookout over the enemies. See if we can see anybody.
Compromised.
So yeah, we're making a push here. As you can see, we're trying to take this over. And it looks like we're actually inside, which is good work for us. Which is work. That's not a word. That is us. So if you see an enemy, try to make habit of hitting Q. When you hit Q, it shouts out that you see the enemy, and when you do that, it actually marks it on people's maps. So you see some drop pods are coming in. People are trying to work their way in here a little bit. Whether those are new conglomerate or not is unknown to me. But we are going to try and push in a little bit. Let's see what we can get done, what work we can get done here. Getting in. If we could take this over, we're going to get the benefits of the station. As you can see, there's a lot of things that are broken, which is good. We have generators. We broke a lot of generators, which means this is why we can run right in here right now, and that's why we're probably going to end up taking this. Because we busted down the generators, we have the ability to just run into a base. See what we can do over here.
Generator destroyed.
Is this glitching out? It looks like it might be glitching out. You can't. The generator's down, but the shield is still technically up for one reason or another. We can't really do anything about it, unfortunately. So we're gonna try to stay with a bunch of people. If you stay alone, you're probably gonna get picked off really quickly. With people, you'll have defense, and they may not necessarily shoot at you right away if you're what they perceive as the least threat. Oh, okay, so we got a new conglomerate right here.
Spotted, enemy heavy.
We're gonna reload. We'll probably get experience for. Yeah, we hit him, but we didn't kill him, but we hit him, so we got experience for doing some damage to him. Always given experience for doing damage. So he landed in a drop pod in a very poor spot. So we can run in here now. It looks like we're trying to take this point. So in order to take this point, you need people around it. And the more people around it, the higher the bonus, but there's a max of 6 people before the bonus caps out, and how quickly you take it, it only determines up to 6 people. But since there's a ton of us up here, it's going to be safe. We're going to lose this. Is it really? It's fun. So we can now, whoop, we hear some gunfire flying up at us. We want to make sure we have our eyes open as to where those shots are coming. When doing recon, does it? Yeah, we're gonna get a massive experience boost for taking this too, which is awesome. For the batteries. It's true. Now if we have an engineer, he's gonna quickly repair the generators immediately, which I think is what's going on over there. We have two engineers poised to repair that immediately and get the shields up and running. Pretty much ASAP. We took it. We got 1,000 experience for that.
We've captured
And now
the
they're
facility.
immediately repairing that, meaning we're going to get the shields up as fast as we can so we can have a very defensible area. And as you can see, that's going to go up. So that's one of the generators going to be recharging now. And the shields go up, meaning we are pretty much safe everywhere at all entrances. What these shields do, friendlies can go in and out, but
SCU.
enemies cannot. It'll prevent bullets from going in and out, though, whether
Generator
friendly or enemies.
repaired.
Now, what I'd like,
Generator repaired.
and you can see, we took it over, and immediately people are just dropping all kinds of vehicles to push out and basically clean up. So what I want to do is, one of the better things to do in these situations is potentially go engineer and go around and just start repairing. Even if you're not expecting the engineer, to go around and repair is good, but it does look like we were actually quite well ready for this takeover, as we had engineers kind of prepped and ready everywhere, as generators are going up very, very quickly, shields are going up very, very quickly. And we are looking pretty good right now. And now it's literally cleanup duty. We are going to roll out in our tanks and our soldiers, and we're just going to push the rest of the new conglomerate out of here and just take over. And I like that a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's so much fun when you're part of a squad and you're communicating and being able to do this as a party. But it's still a ton of fun solo, too. I'm having a good time solo. Without a doubt, it is meant to be played with people, but... And I am a shitty shot. We're gonna kill him, though. Thank goodness. Pistol. I hate... With this sniper rifle, it is not good for close range. At all. But we can get out of here. We did our duty. We killed him out. He's not going to be able to respawn anywhere soon. That's another fun part. You know, when you do this, you're going to make sure that, you know, every time you kill somebody, they can't respawn anywhere close. I'm going to leap over this way for a minute. And I wish I was an engineer now so I could repair this. But it looks like we're going to try and take the outlying stations now. We can actually jump in here and try to take out... Where'd he go?
Generator compromised.
Oh, he's dead. So yeah, let's see, these tanks are just not... We're just pretty much owning all the little outposts around it now.
Visual on a hostile engineer.
Try to take out the engineer. Oh, no! There's a guy behind us. Somebody in the base. That's unfortunate. So, we'll do a little bit more gameplay. I think you get the general idea. My overall opinion is this game is very, very, very good. I'm having a really good time with it. It's, you know, I don't feel like it's a pay for... I don't feel the need to pay for anything. You know, I even have that $4,000 in cash, and I still don't feel the need to use it right now. I'm sure I will at some point, but for now, it just doesn't feel necessary. I'm not comfortable with Infiltrator quite enough yet that I want to spend the money, but I'm sure I will at some point. And what I want to do is go around and do some cleanup duty. It's exactly what I'm looking to do right now.
Generator compromised.
We're losing a generator somewhere, so you want to look around, see where the generators might be flashing, where we might be losing it. One of the things they still can do is, it looks like we got a bullet whizzed by our ear, is drop from the sky, so we are definitely getting shot at from somewhere. But I do not know where, so what I'm going to do is go up here. I should have probably switched over to Heavy Trooper if I'm going to do some base cleanup, because going around as Infiltrator is probably a poor idea. Headshot. Get him out of here. They're trying to take over. Not going to let him.
Stabilized.
Not without a fight, anyway. Looks like we have a Vanu guy up there. It's good. Taking the points is important. Headshot. I love being sniper. It's one of my favorite things. Whoa. I'm gonna start jumping around a little bit and trying to take a... What you could do, like I was showing earlier, is jump into these turrets, try to get some damage done. But for the most part now, they're just trying to fight back, maybe take what they can. But for the most part, they're going to fail. Because we have taken over. And we have a lot of air presence and ground presence in the area now. For the most part, there's not much they can do to take it back. I mean, they will take it back. That's the point of the game, too. You never hold an area permanently. It's only temporary at all times. So that's half the fun, is losing things and taking it back. That feeling of revenge is just really good. It's really good. So, in conclusion, this game is a blast. I do not feel the need to pay for anything. It is free to download on Steam right now. I have an outfit called the MDF, where we on the server Jaeger, Jaeger, I believe, and we're Vanu. And I am Mathis SC on this one. So if you want to play with me, that is where you're most likely going to find me at any given time. So make sure you check it out, swing by, say hello, come play with me. I promise we'll have a great time. And I look forward to playing with you guys. So thanks so much for watching. I hope this is informative to help you either sway your opinion one way or another. And I'll see you later.